Hello, welcome to Meadows Demo Designs. I am Stephen Meadows. We will be doing some tutorials going through HTML, CSS, JavaScript, then onto React, covering some frameworks like Bootstrap. We'll also be doing GitHub, so please hit the subscribe button, click a like for this video, it does really help us creators, and follow me on my journey. In this tutorial today, we will be looking at the responsive navbar. There are several ways to do responsive navbar. One can be used by the framework Bootstrap. Another way is creating media queries and using different navigations for each one for desktop and one for tablet and one for mobile. But we will be covering ones created with HTML, CSS and JavaScript in this lesson. So please hit the like button and let's start.
Okay, what we're going to do is first start with HTML. So we want to start doing our file structure first. So we do the first one, which is the CSS. This would be done for styling. And then open that folder up and put another file in, which should be style.css. Then come out of that, go back into responsive nav folder, make another folder. Then be JS, so for JavaScript. Add this inside the CSS. We want to just move that out. So if you drag it across there, so move that one. It's perfect. Then we're going to create a new file in there. We're going to call this one script.js. And then we just need to create a new folder in one new file in there, which is the index.html. Right, this is where your main content is. Okay, so what we're going to do first is I've got Emmet installed, so if I do an exclamation point, and then do tab, it'll then fill this out for me. So if I then open this window up here, okay, so we do have our document here, so let's type a new name in for this, so let's call this responsive and nav, and save it. And then when we refresh across the other side, yep, as you can see across the top, we've now got responsive nav. So this is basically what this is. This is the title of your document. So this is what will appear up in the top of your browser tab. Right, now we're going to link to the style sheet. So it's link style sheet. So style.css. Obviously this is in another folder. So we go full stop. Dump. Well, so there we go. So they should now go to the CSS folder. Then go to style.css. We are going to test this in a second. So if you bear with me for a minute. So we do h1, we're going to do hello, we're going to save that. As you can see, it's appeared on the other side. So we'll go to our style. This is just to make sure that it is linking correctly. So h1, color, do blue. We'll save that, and as you can see, it's now changed color. So this does mean that our style sheet is correct. So we're going to get rid of that one. Right, so we're going to go across here. We do need to attach our JS script as well. This can be done in the body, so what we want to do is go to script source. Right, okay, so what we want to do is we want to go to /JS. Okay. Right, to start with first in this one, it's always best to comment things, so we put in there like a caret and then an exclamation point and 2 dashes, followed by 2 dashes and a caret point again. And then we can write on there navbar start. Do the same again. This can be done with control and backslash, sorry, forward slash. Now I'll bring the same thing up. So it's always best to make sure you get into the habit of commenting, because if you comment information, it makes it easier if anyone else needs to access any of your work or do anything, so just know where everything is. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to add nav in, give it a class of navbar. So this will be our container then put things into. We're then going to give it a brand title, so we're going to give it div. We're going to call it div class equals brand. Oops. and then we're going to call this brand. We then need to add the toggle button into it, so we will go to a href. Obviously this one's not used yet because this is going to be used for when we've got in our toggle button from the responsiveness on here. So we're going to do that. Do # in this, just so it doesn't go anywhere, and class, give this toggle button. Okay, so that should be good on that one. Obviously we want to keep the A in there because we're going to add some span classes. This is basically going to be here just to make the lines. So we're going to call this class, we're going to call this line. Oops, got too much in there on that one. Line. So we can now grab that one. We want to do 3 of these. So you want to copy. That's that done on that one. So that will be the toggle button all done. So this would be like the X or however you design it to appear on the page. And then go to another one, which we're going to do a div class nav links. So this will contain all of your navbar links. So UL, and it's going to be an unordered list. Li. So we'll do it li. We then want to do a href. And then we do need to do an about. So we're doing copy. We do home, about, contact, and we'll add a login button. So, oops, too many there. Right, so what we're going to do on this one is we're going to call this home, about, contact, and we're going to do this one as login. Can save that. As you can see on the other side, we've now got our list. It's appeared on there. We have got that one on there. We're then going to do our nice little div class button on it. So we're going to do div class equals nav button. Make a button with login. Okay. I believe that is it for the navbar. Okay, so we will now move on to the CSS. Okay, right, now go on to the CSS page on here. So we move straight across to CSS. Right, so we're going to do a few things first for the root. We're going to do style, which basically is everything. We set everything to box size in, border box. We're going to add our body. We're going to take away the margin. So start with clean shape and padding. As you can see, it's now moved everything across. It's all flush with the side of the thing. We lost the padding at the top and everything. So good on that. Right, what I would recommend doing is if you're going to do colours, I would recommend doing root on there. So basically anything in there, you can use variables, things like this, and your best thing to do, honestly, in my experience, is to set variables up for everything. So it just makes it easier when someone else is coming in and they're looking at your code and they need to change colours or anything. If you've got variables in it, they can just go to this one file and change it. So what we'll do is we'll set up one. So this is going to be primary colour, and then we're going to add, I'm going to give it like a, I don't know, an orange colour. So 8A34. If you're wondering where I get this from, I already know which colours I want to use on this. So but you can have a look through. You can get them from online, anywhere really on that one. So right, let's do navbar. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a comment again, which this time it's / and star on star and / again. This is the way CSS works with their comments. So we are going to do navbar again. Make sure that you to comment everything, because again, people are looking at your code, it's easier for them to look at. So what we'll do is do navbar. So this is the first one. We're going to do display flex. So this is on the whole entire navbar container. So as you can see now, it has moved into a row, which is exactly what we want. Position relative. We're going to do justify the content, so we're going to do space between on this one. So all it does is spread them out like that. If we did space around, for instance, it would then move everything into center like this. But for the time being, we just want space between. And then we need to align items center. Right, so what happens on this one is we've done display flex. We're using flexbox for this. Justifying the contents of space between. So that is going to be across it, so it's going to space it all out. We're then going to align items, which then brings it in center. Okay, so let's go on to brand title first. So brand dash title. Okay, we could do font size 1.5 rem. We're then going to do margin 0.5 rem. Okay, that seems to be changing. Let me have a quick look on this one. Ah, that's why. There we go. So all it takes is to have one class wrong, and then yeah. So, but that's okay. That's working now. I want text transform uppercase, even though it's in lowercase, well, in uppercase already. We're just going to do that just as a safety precaution. Right. So navbar links. Do a height of 100%. And our links UL. So in the unordered list, we can display that as flex. So what we're doing now is we are now affecting the unordered list here. Zero. I do add in 0 as well. Navbar links ally. The list style is going to be none. Display block. Okay, let's have a look and see what's going on here. Number links, UL, LI. Yeah, so let's quick now on there, go to inspect it. Elements. So the border box, li, display list item, Just seem to want to work on that. That's why. Perfect. Okay, right. So that's not working now. Now we're going to go to text decoration. So we want to have none. You don't want to have the line underneath. This is good on that one. Padding 1 rem. Then spreads it out across that. And color. Right. You can set this up obviously as a root one if you want to. Actually, we will go do that now. So what we do is do root. So we'll do black color. And I do believe it's 1, 2, 3. That's white. There you go. Now, so what we can do on this one is we can delete that and we can do variable and we do black color. So that's that done on that one. What else do we need to do on this one? I think that's about it really. So what we do is we can do dot nav our links li a hover. So this is whenever we hover over the top of a navbar link, this is what it's going to do for this one. So we do color, variable, primary color. So now what you should see is if I go over this, it then changes to orange. Okay, which it doesn't on this. It just does, only affects the links. And it'll turn into a hand icon as well. Okay, moving on. Okay, right, we're going to now style the navbar button. So dot navbar. Let me just double check this to see, make sure we've got this in correctly. Nav button. Right, okay, so dot nav button. So this is going to be, and then just to make sure it's a bit more specific, button on there. Yep. And now we're going to go onto this, and we're going to go to padding. Should we do 5 pixels, 15 pixel? Yep, that is okay. Okay, on that one. Set border radius up of 2 rem. Makes it a bit rounder. The color, yeah, primary color. Yeah, that looks good. That's all done on that one. Background color transparent. Perfect. And then we go to border. Try 2 pixels. See what that's like in a minute. Solid. BR. Hang on. Yeah, that's alright. Okay. So let's do the dot nav button. Button hover. Okay, let's see what we can do with this one. Let's give it a background color of our primary color, and let's give it a color for the text of white. See how that looks if I move over to that now. Yeah, that's good. It's perfect. Okay. So right, now what we're going to do is we are going to go down to the toggle button now. We're going to work on the toggle button. So, hold on that one. Toggle. Yeah, button. Not button. Toggle button. Okay, let's go to position. Absolute. Let's move the content over. So obviously it's me. So what we're going to do is we're then going to do where we're going to put it. So we're going to do top. I think 0.75 RAM should do that one. And right 1 RAM. Obviously we can readjust these values once we've got it on. So we can double check it and make sure it's working once we can see it. So we'll display none. Obviously at the moment we're not going to bother with that one, so I'm just going to comment that one out for the time being, because we want it to display. We just don't want it to display as soon as it, as soon as we shrink the screen, we want it then to appear. Flex direction, column. Justify content. What you have to remember is you're not going to see any of these until until it goes into things. So actually let's take this off and let's change this to flex, because this is what it will be when it goes in. So we'll display flex. This is just so we can see it in a moment while it goes in. Okay, we'll do a width of 30 pixels I think. And I think a height of about 21 pixels. But again, we can change this once it's in, once we've just got it working. Okay, and what we're going to do is when this comes on, we're going to do login. We're going to display as none. Right, so we're going to do dot toggle button line. Dot line, sorry. And then we're going to do height of 3 pixels. Width of 100%. So 100% of its container. Background color. Again, we can use the VAR. Or the VAR. The VAR. As you can see, it's now just appeared in the corner up here. So it will be where the login button is. And then we're going to do border radius. Um, 10 pixels. This makes it a little bit better. Right, and that should be it on that one. Okay, we do need to do a bit of mobile works now on this. So we're going to do media query. So we're going to put at media. Let's do max width. 800 pixels we're going to go with. Then we're going to do dot navbar. Let's give it a flex direction of column. Let's give it line items, flex start. Okay, toggle button. We're going to have a display flex. Now while it's doing that, we're then going to go up to here quick, the toggle buttons on here. Where are we looking? toggle button there, so we're going to change that to none. Right, so that's not going to display until that's gone there. That's going to display flex. Now we go to navbar links. Okay. Display none. So obviously they're not going to show on the screen. They're going to show within the actual navigation. So I want them to move. So if we go to this, we should be able to extend it now, and as you can see, they now disappear on there. So that works on that one. Might need to have a look at that button in a minute, but we'll come to that in a second. That's it for this one. So let's go to navbar links UL. Okay, so the UL is going to be the width 100%. Flex direction column. So this is going to change it into a column. So when we click on the button, it's just going to open it all up and show us as a column on there. Do not navbar links again. Li. Actually, no, we do ULLI. Sorry. ULLI. So what we're going to do is text align center. Because again, this is going to put everything in the middle of the page, which makes it a lot easier and a lot better on that one. Navbar links again. Li and A. So we're going to do some padding on this. So we're going to do 0.5 rem top and bottom, and 1 rem left and right. Then we're going to add an active class to this one. So we're going to navbar links dot active. You'll see why in a minute when we go on to doing JS. Nav button, display none, and login, display block. Right, so this should now be, he says, perfect. Move this over a little bit. Yep, there you go. Obviously it doesn't do anything at the moment. Okay, now we're going to move on to the JavaScript. Okay, now on to the JavaScript. Right, so go to the JavaScript script.js. Right, okay, so we're going to set some constants first. We're going to do constant toggle button. So that's the name of our constant. Equals. So document dot get elements by class name. Right, so what this is going to do is just going to grab the class. So in which case this one is toggle button. And then we're going to put it into the square for the array. It's going to be 0 because it's going to be the first one. And then we're going to do another one. And we're going to do this one time for the navbar links. So we do that. Equals document dot get element by class name. And again, this is going to go to navbar links. Yep. Again, it's going to be the first ones. Right, so what we're going to do is going to do toggle button Again, we have this. We're going to add event listener. So what this is going to do as soon as I move over to the on here. So if I go to this, as soon as I go to here and I go to click on that, we want that to do something. So what's doing is going to listen for that. So we're going to get to listen for the click. So we're going to put in there click because that's what we want it to listen to. It's the first argument. Then we're going to have a function. It's going to be an arrow function. Parentheses for that. And then we're going to do navbar links dot class list. So we want it to change its class. So we're going to toggle its class. So once it's toggled its class, it's going to be active. And then we're going to save that. And in theory, this should now, yes, and that works. And there you have it. You have your first responsive navbar. And again, if I stretch that up there, it then works on here. Login button works, brand works. Click on that, you look at this. Obviously you can customize this a bit better, add a nice background to it and for that, but that is your basics of how to make a responsive navbar using JS, HTML and CSS. I hope you enjoyed it, and yep,